Okay, thanks for joining us for the next episode of the Culture and People podcast. Christine, in a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, Anna, thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I'm super excited to be here. I currently do consulting work under my organization, Talent Conscious. So I do quite a bit of career coaching actually partner with Keystone Partners. I do work with Career Transition Center downtown. And then I also engage in executive recruiting for the other 50% of my time. So it gives me a good balance of keeping my toe in the recruiting while helping people on the career side. And I really enjoy doing both. So it's been lovely.
Yeah, I always say you don't have to have all your eggs in one basket, right? You can have more
Not
than
at
one.
all. That's why
great.
I'm a consultant. Yeah.
Totally. So what's the best thing about working in this people and culture space?
Well, for me, it's always been about building relationships and problem solving. So what some people don't know is I'm a highly analytical person. Studied accounting early on, got my CPA, but something was missing early on in my career. And what was missing was the people component. And now I get to combine people issues with problem solving. And that's really how I see myself. I'm very intuitive in understanding and listening to people and trying to get to the root cause of some of their struggles so that I can help them move through it.
Yeah, I think problem solver hits it on the head. People that work in this people and culture space, you have to be great problem solvers. Yeah. So I'm hearing from other leaders like yourself in the people and culture space that engaging employees is a challenge. What are your thoughts?
Well, as a consultant, I don't have employees. So that puts me into a unique position. I am engaged, however, with DuPage Sherm Board and am surrounded by other HR professionals who regularly speak about employee engagement. And I can certainly refer to engagement when I was last employed with an organization. So for me, engagement and culture go hand in hand. The culture sets the stage for how we're going to do our work, what is the mission and the values that we support in the organization. And then I think the real engagement occurs when the employees are fully aligned with those mission and values and the culture of the organization. Because they're inspired, they're doing work that really speaks to the heart of what they love in a lot of cases. And when that alignment disappears, oftentimes I think that engagement is no longer as productive.
How do you think employers can help with that alignment? Is there anything that they can do to make sure that alignment is there with the mission and the vision and the values?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't think it's an easy one, especially depending upon the size of the organization. I think what's really core is for leadership to be involved really in many touch points with the organization, whether they have weekly forums or they have ways for everyone to come together so that they're sharing their mission and values, and it's not just something that hangs on the wall or is on the website. Like in everything the leadership team does, it should be tying it back to the mission and values and driving it home. So there should be no question amongst the employees exactly what the mission and values are. And then, that I think actually trickles even down to having touch-based meetings for performance. I'm not a big fan of annual performance reviews, but I am a fan of regular touch-point meetings with the hiring manager or the supervisor rather, and the employees. And those present really a key opportunity, again, to restate the mission and values, to make sure there's alignment, to make sure the employees are engaged. And if they're not, that's a perfect opportunity to understand what's missing and how can we together solve this problem. I don't believe it's a problem just for one group to solve. I think everyone should come together and figure out, well, if I need this in my life and this is what you have, what can I do personally for my own career bring that to the table. And then likewise, from the company side, how can we give that person work that really feeds them and really gets them excited to want to produce more? And sometimes, you're in a position where perhaps you're really just unhappy because it's the wrong role. And if it's the wrong role for you, it doesn't matter. You'll never be fully engaged and productive because it's just not the right fit. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that the individual has to do the reflective work internally to really understand what a good role and what a good fit looks like.
Oh my gosh, I feel like you and I are kindred spirits and everything you just said. I love it. I love it because, I talk a lot about owning your career. Yes, I believe there are things that employers can do from the top down to better engage their culture and their humans. And it has to be two-sided, right? There has to be that sandwiching effect. So I think that's really perfect. What other, I sort of asked you the question number 4, I jumped to that. What advice would you share with the organization? So I think that was really solid advice in terms of engaging your people regularly. I say, if you want something that's going to change your culture, there's nothing better. There's no training you can go to. There's nothing you can do better than meeting regularly between leaders and their people.
Right.
Perfect. Who else, in terms of top HR leaders or people operations leaders like yourself, would you want to acknowledge as a leader or even a potential guest on the podcast?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Give me a moment. Let me see if I can quickly find his name in an email. Aaron Levy.
Okay.
I first met Aaron at a leadership training through DuPage SHRM. And Aaron is a speaker, trainer, and he's just got great ideas about leadership and how to bring leadership to all levels in the organization, as well as how to manage your people. So reach out to Aaron. He's a great guy.
Awesome. Great. We'll include that in the notes. So anyone who's listening and wants to get in touch with him too can reach out to him directly. Love it. Okay. Love it. So tell us, in our last question here, we have, let's see on our timer, we have about 2 minutes left. So that's great. What, for you personally, working with the human side of business, how does that work for your own personal alignment? What type of fulfillment or alignment do you get out of that?
Oh, a great deal of alignment. As I'm coaching people in their careers, one of the assessments that I'm a huge fan of is Clifton Strength Finders.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And when I did that for myself, probably about 5 years ago, it was a pivotal moment where I was like, wow, okay, this speaks to some inherent strengths that I've had my entire life that I've never paid attention to. And the work I do with career coaching in particular really aligns with my core strengths of maximizer and positivity and strategic and certainly woo. I love to, get to meet people and win them over. So I'm using my core strengths every day. And I think when you're using your core strengths, you know what they are, you're in alignment. You're feeling good and you're charged and you're doing the work that you're called here to do. And I absolutely feel that in the coaching work, and actually even on the recruiting side, because I'm able to really hear the story of people and where they came from and where they want to go. And I'm able to quickly connect the dots to understand, is this really a good role for you that we're talking about, or is it not? And even when I'm recruiting people, I've coached them to say, this actually is not a good fit for you because of this, and you might want to consider something else. So I bring coaching into my recruiting work as well. So
I believe it. Yeah. And the thing about strengths is it's so positive. That's where self-awareness, it's the number one predictor of success, right? Cornell University did a study on that. It means, do I know myself? And that whole strengths, weaknesses, yes, I get it. But if you know your zone of genius, your highest and best use, you're going to be so much more happy, and then you're going to feel more aligned. So, I love that advice, Christine. Thank you.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right. Thanks for being on the show today. We
thanks
will
for
keep in
having me.
touch.
Have a great day.